Good afternoon, everyone. I am Antonio Jr. C. De La Rosa. The topic of this report is RA number 7076, People's Small-Scale Mining Activity of 1991. The next slide is the introduction. Republic Act 7076, otherwise known as the People's Small-Scale Mining Activity of 1991, defines small-scale mining or SSM as mining activities which rely heavily on manual labor. Simple implements and methods are used for mining activities instead of explosives or heavy equipment. And the next slide is the purpose of this activity: to promote, develop, protect, and rationalize valuable small-scale mining activities in order to generate more employment opportunities and provide an equitable sharing of the nation's wealth and natural resources, giving due regard to existing rights as herein provided. Next is the definition of terms. First is the mineralized areas. Next is the small-scale miners. Next is the small-scale mining contact. First is the mineralized areas. Refer to areas with naturally occurring mineral deposits of gold, silver, chromite, kaolin, silica, marble, gravel, clay, and like mineral sources. Next is the small-scale miners. Refer to Filipino citizens who individually or in the company of other Filipino citizens voluntarily form a cooperative duly licensed by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to engage under the terms of condition of contract in the extractions or removal of minerals or bearing materials from the ground. Next is the small-scale mining contract. Refers to the production, joint venture, or mineral production sharing agreement between the state and small-scale mining contractor for the small-scale utilization of a plot of mineral land. Next is the small-scale mining contractor. Refers to an individual or a cooperative of small-scale miners registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Next is the existing mining right. Refers to perfected and subsisting claim, license or permit covering a mineralized area prior to its declaration as a people's small-scale mining area. Last, active mining area. Refer to Filipino citizens who individually or in the company of other Filipino citizens voluntarily form a cooperative duly licensed by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to engage under the term and condition of contract in the extractions or removal of minerals. So next is the People's Small-Scale Mining Program, implemented by the Secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Hereinafter, code the department, in coordination with other concerned government agencies, designed to achieve an orderly, systematic, and rational scheme for the small-scale development and utilization of mineral resources in certain mineral areas in order to address the social, economic, technical, and environmental connected with small-scale mining activities. And the next slide is the People's Small-Scale Mining Program, which ensures responsible and sustainable small-scale mining, and this program aims to support small-scale miners while ensuring that mining is sustainable, regulated, and beneficial to both the miners and the economy. Next is the Declaration of People's Small-Scale Mining Areas allows a government board to set aside specific onshore lands for small-scale mining. These areas must be suitable for mining and are subject to review by the DNR Secretary. Next is the People's Small-Scale Mining Areas. First is the public lands not subject to any existing right. Next is the public lands covered by existing mining rights which are not active mining areas, and last is the private lands subject to certain rights and conditions except those with substantial improvements or in bona fide and regular use as a yard, stockyard, garden, plant nursery, plantation, cemetery, or burial site, or land suited within 100 meters from such as cemetery or burial site, water reservoir, or a separate parcel of land with an area of 10,000 square meters or less. Next is the ancestral lands. No ancestral land may be declared as people's small-scale mining area without the prior consent of the cultural communities concerned, provided that if ancestral lands are declared as people-scale mining areas, the members of the cultural communities therein shall be given priority in the awarding of small-scale mining contracts. And the next slide is the registration of small-scale miners. All persons undertaking small-scale mining activities shall register as miners with the board and may organize themselves into cooperatives in order to qualify for the awarding of a people's small-scale mining contract. Next is the award of people's small-scale mining contracts. Small-scale mining contracts are awarded by the board to registered miners or cooperatives. Each small-scale mining operation can only receive one contract at a time, valid for 1 year from the award date. Priority is given to miners in the local area where the mining site is located. Next is the extent of contract area. The board determines the contract area size and shape, ensuring it does not exceed of 20 hectares per contractor. The depth and length of tunnels or adits must follow the director's recommendations. Next is the rights under a People Small-Scale Mining Contract. A People Small-Scale Mining Contract entitles the small-scale mining contractor to the right to mine, extract, and dispose of mineral ores for commercial purposes. In no case shall a small-scale mining contract be subcontracted, assigned, or otherwise transferred. Next is the terms and conditions of the contract. 2 years renewable subject to verification by the board for like periods as long as the contractor complies with the provisions set forth in these activities, and confers upon the contractor the right to mine within the contract area. Next is the rights of claim owners. Mining area is covered by an existing mining right. The claim owner and the small-scale miners therein are encouraged to enter into a voluntary and acceptable contractual agreement with respect to the small-scale utilization of the mineral values from the area under claim. And the next slide, rights of private landowners. The private landowner or lawful possessor shall be notified of any plan or petitions to declare his land as a people's small-scale mining area. Said landowner may oppose such a plan or petition in an appropriate proceeding and hearing conducted before the board. Next is the sale of gold. All gold produced by small-scale miners in any mineral area shall be sold to the central bank or its duly authorized representatives, which shall buy it at prices competitive with those prevailing in the world market regardless of volume or weight. And next is the reversion of people's small-scale mining areas. The Secretary, upon recommendation of the Director, shall withdraw the status of the people's small-scale mining area when it can no longer feasibly operated on a small-scale mining basis or when the safety, health, and environmental conditions warrant that the same shall revert to the state for proper disposition. Next is the actual occupations by small-scale miners. Scale miners who have been in actual operation of mineral limestone before August 1, 1987 as determined by the board shall not be disposed, ejected, or removed from said areas, provided that they comply with the provisions of these activities. Next is the penal sanction. Violation of the provision of this activity or of the rules and regulations issued pursuant hereto shall be penalized with imprisonment of not less than 6 months nor more than 6 years and shall include with the confiscation confiscation and seizure of equipment, tools, and last slide is the conclusions. RA numbers 7076. First is protects small-scale miners by formalizing their activities and preventing exploitations. Next, regulates mining operations to minimize environmental damage. Next, promote responsible mining by requiring compliance with safety and sustainable measures. Last is the encourage rural development by providing livelihood opportunities. Thank you.